briefing. We are here as members of the Senate. We would have had our colleagues from the National Assembly, but unfortunately they are in Mombasa. Then we have our colleagues from the county assemblies. Several county assemblies are represented here. And we want to address a very specific and matter that has been ongoing in the country for the last about 2-3 weeks. And we have found it important that we address that matter, because to the levels that it is escalating, it is a threat to our national security. It is a threat to the peace that has been there. We want to thank the people of Kenya, because during and after the elections, they have been generally very, very peaceful. They conducted the elections and went home. That was our rallying call as members of the UD and Kenya Kwanza fraternity. Specifically, the people who are here, the senators who are here and members of county assembly are from Kenya Kwanza, just to confirm. And the issue that we want to address is the ongoing rallies and mandamanos that have been ongoing especially in Nairobi. We have had them in Jakaranda, we have had them in Kamukunji. And the reason why we thought it is very important is that some people are hiding behind those rallies and mandamanos, and out of their wisdom or lack of it, they want to continue with the plan and depth of public resources that has been there for the time that they have been in power. There are people who are still having hangovers of a presidency that is long gone, and they have resorted to this very backward antics of sponsoring public rallies and mandamanos. And we would want to be very specific that we have very credible information that the person who is sponsoring the ongoing mandamanos is President Uhuru Kenyatta, the former President of the Republic of Kenya, for reasons that we are unearthing one by one and slowly by slowly. I would want to point out a specific piece. In all the ongoing rallies that we've been seeing, there has been one very constant call by all the people that are addressed those rallies. They are speaking about taxes and avoiding and evading paying taxes. One, paying taxes is a national duty. It is the national duty of every Kenyan, including myself, to pay taxes, including all of us who are here, to pay taxes. And anybody that calls and or incites the public not to pay taxes is not a nationalist. It's not a person who is patriotic. There is a lot of patriotism in paying taxes. That is number one. Number two, it is known, it's public knowledge, and it has been reported by including the media that in the former regime, tax waivers were a daily business. The most famous being the NCBA NIC merger, in which the Kenyatta family got a waiver of 350 million not to pay taxes. The reason why the former president is so agitated is because they very, very illegally and procedurally got a license from the Communication Authority, the 5G license. So they are the brokers between the Communication Authority and all the telcos. They sold the license to one of the leading telcos for purposes of protecting businesses. We will not mention it, but your guess is as good as mine, at 4 billion. Thereafter, they called the Commissioner General Mburu of ARA, asking for a tax waiver of 1.4 billion. Fortunately for the country, unfortunately for them, it is just around the same time that the president appointed a new chairman who has now become a patriotic whistleblower, who brought to the attention that interest of trying to get a waiver of 1.4 billion, and they told them it is the duty of every Kenyan to pay taxes. I think that agitated the former president too much, and that's why he has resorted to taking people to the streets. And I ask myself, how much is really enough? How much can be enough for one person? How much can be enough for one individual? How much can be enough for one family? It was reported by the media that one family already controls over a third of the GDP of the whole country. So in the foregoing, we as the senators will, and my colleagues who address on that matter, will ask that the people of Kenya, please do not be used by anybody for their own selfish interest or for their own selfish gains, that they want to take you to the streets to go and disturb peace because they have been told to pay tax. Everybody should pay tax. All of us shall pay tax. There's no way we can be able to come out of the hole that the president has, the former president left us, if you are not patriotic. That is number one. Number two, we shall, because we have been tasked with the duty of oversight as parliamentarians, we shall also ask from Kenya Revenue Authority of all the tax waivers that the Kenyatta family as a family have enjoyed from the government for many years. Because if they're asking for a 1.4 billion tax waiver in a new regime, how much more would they have asked in the time that they were in power? And also, finally, it is every other Kenyan from any other place of this republic have to pay land rates. However small piece of land that you have to pay land rates. So we'll also be doing an audit. Once we our county governments, Mombasa, Nairobi, Kiambu, county governments, to give us an audit of how much, because we have information that the Kenyatta family have not been paying land rates for the last many years. You own an eighth of the country and you don't want to pay land rates. A person who owns an eighth of an acre is the one that is to pay land rates. So we also get an audit from our county governments. So my colleague Senator for Kirinyaga will make one comment, and then we will take Senator Matinga, and then we'll take a question.
Mimi nitaongea kwa Kiswahili, hivyo ndio tumepangana hapa. Kwanza ningetaka kusema kwamba sisi kama watu waliochaguliwa hapa, kuna maseneta, tungekuwa pia na wajumbe kutoka bunge la taifa, lakini bado wako Mombasa. Tuko pia na wajumbe kutoka bunge za county, ndio hao tuko nao hapa. Kwa hivyo nikusema tunaongea na sauti moja, idara zote za serikali zikiwa zimewakilishwa vilivyo. Kwanza niseme kwamba tumeshtushwa sana na kushangazwa na tukio ambalo linaendelea kuhusu maandamano. Kumekuwa na maandamano kwa Mukonji na pia Jakaranda, na hii maandamano yote mwenye anatumika ni Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga akitumiwa na rais aliyestaafu Uhuru Kenyatta. Ni jambo la kushangaza kwamba haheshimu hata umri, kwa sababu yule mzee hafai kuwa akipigishwa raundi akiwa na umri kama huo. Jambo la kwanza, tunajua wazi kwamba wakati bank ya NCBA ilikuwa inaunganika na NIC, kuna pesa ambazo zilikuwa zinafaa kulipwa konti, ambayo ilikuwa ni milioni 1350, na hiyo haikufanyika kwa sababu NCBA mnajua pia inahusishwa na familia ya Uhuru Kenyatta. Na kwa hivyo inaonekana lazima Raila Odinga na wafuasi wake watumike katika jambo kama lile, kuja wamtetee katika maandamano ambayo inatuharimbia uchumi na kuharimbia hali ambako Kenya zima tuko na kiangazi na tuko na janga la njaa. Ya pili, mnajua kwamba kuna huu mtambo 5G ambao ulikuwa sana inapeanwa, leseni inapeanwa na CCK. Lakini kwa jambo speciali, leseni haikupeanwa na CCK kwenda kwa Safaricom. Na mnajua kwamba Safaricom pia ni kama ni parastato, ni ya umma pia. Ili Uhuru Kenyatta ndo walipewa ile leseni, ndo wakauzia Safaricom na pesa ambayo ilihusika ilikuwa bilioni 4. Na hilo jambo lilikuja kujulikana ya kwamba anataka pia kukwepa ushuru, na ndio walikuwa wameagiza KRA ambayo ni idara inakusanya ushuru kwamba waweze kuondolewa katika orodha ya wale wanalipa ushuru, na ilipojulikana ilifika kwa mwenyekiti ambaye alisimamisha hilo jambo, ambapo wangekwepa na shilingi bilioni 1.4 ambayo ni pesa mingi sana katika Kenya wakati huu tunakumbwa na janga la njaa. Tuna jambo lingine la muhimu sana, kwa sababu tukiangalia sana, kuna kitu inaitwa royalties, kuna ile kondi inalipwa katika wenye maproti na wenye mashamba. Pia mnajua kwamba Uhuru Kenyatta na familia yake ni wao ambao wako na ile mashamba kubwa sana katika Kenya, kutoka Mombasa kwenda Nakuru hata Nairobi. Itawezekanaje mkazi mwenye anakaa Kayole alipe pesa la shamba, lakini wale ambao ni matajiri wakubwa wanakataa kulipa kondi ya shamba? Kwa hivyo pia tungeambia kaunti zote zile zinahusika kwamba wakuja wanakili mashamba yote ambao inahusika na wale watu walipi kondi, walete ndio tuweze kuelezea Wakenya kwamba tuonyeshe mahali shinda iko. Na ningetaka kuambia kwamba Uhuru Kenyatta na Raila Odinga kwamba kivuli cha fimbo hakifichi mtu njua. Hata wakijificha kwa maandamano, mambo yao tushayajua, tushayamulika, na tutaendelea kufuatana na wao. Na niambie Wakenya kwamba kama jiko halijafungwa, tumaini la mbwa kula bado linakuweko. Hawa Wakenya ambao tuko nao siku ya leo, tunaambia bado kuna tumaini, kama serikali ya Kenya Kwanza bado iko kwa kiti, kwamba wenye walipe kodi watalipa ya mashamba ya zile biashara wanafanya, ili Wakenya waweze kupata huduma ambayo wanafaa kupata. Asanteni.
Thank you very much. My name is Engineer Homo Matinga, Senator Nyeri County and Chairman of Mount Kenya Senators Caucus. For avoidance of doubt, we are united in what we are saying. We are demanding the former President, Uhuru Kenyatta. He had his power time, he misused it, and we are going after him. Not after his personal businesses. We are going after the fact that he has been avoiding paying taxes. And if you listen to Laila speak, you will hear Uhuru Kenyatta. The first thing that is pushing that people, Kenyans, will not pay taxes. We want to tell Uhuru, we know he's avoiding to pay the 1.2 billion that he was supposed to pay. After having brokered the license for the 5G, he was given waivers for the taxes for the last 10 years. We are doing audit report and we'll place it on the house, on the floor of the house, and he must pay that. Na ndio tunataka kumwambia ajue, sisi watu wa Kenya Kwanza, hata wakija na tactics aina gani, sisi lazima tufuate, ndio tufanyie Wakenya kazi vile tuliwagana na Wakenya. Na hii mambo ya ushuru tunajua walisukuma wapate serikali, hawakujua tutapata, kwa sababu yale mambo walikuwa wameficha ni mambo mengi sana, na yanaweza kufichuka, yanaweza kutokezea, na tutayasukuma mpaka tuhakikishe haki ya Wakenya imefanyika. Asanteni sana.
We'll take a few questions. In no particular order, we can start where? And then you tell us where you come from so that we are able to...
My name is Mark from KTN News. Two questions. Number one, has the President sanctioned this statement? Has he approved it, that you're going for the last of Kenyatta's? And number two, what evidence do you have to prove some of the allegations you are putting forward?
To ride on that question, Senator, to ride on his second question, because you said you have credible information. You can probably give us a hint on how credible that information is and from which source.
Two things. Number one is that we are Kenyans. That is number one. Number two, we are representatives of the people. We do not require any sanction from anybody to speak on anything. We have also a working brain and a working mind, and that is why we've been given these jobs by our people. So on whether anybody has sanctioned this statement, we require no sanction. That is number one. Number two, you asked on the credibility of the information that you are giving. Two things is that number one, we are privileged Kenyans to be serving in Parliament and to also be serving in the side of Parliament that is government. So, some of the things that I have actually mentioned are public knowledge. The merger between CBA and NIC is public knowledge, everybody knows. Number two, you have also heard me quote Anthony Maura, chairman of KRA. He is chairman, and I think he's a patriotic man that he was able to whistleblow that this is the things that the rot that has been happening in KRA. And finally, we may not really necessarily have to jump before the gun. We have said that we are doing an audit. The audit will be public. The KRA will come to the Senate. Our sessions are never in camera. You'll be there. All these facts will be right there. For some of us, we are staunch Christians. We only speak what we know and speak what we believe is the truth.
Truthful men.
We are truthful men. I am supposing the silence is because the statement has been very exclusive.
Maybe on that, talking about taxes, would it be termed as maybe you are trying to deviate from the conversation of a rigged election as a senator?
The topography of our constitution has only one avenue of appeal for the presidential election. That is the Supreme Court. Once the Supreme Court speaks that these were the facts, the only other available option is patience and persistence. You are only patient for another 5 years and wait and try again. So all these other antics are things that are not founded on any basis of truth. If truly our competitors or our opponents were speaking about the IBC, then their talks in their rallies should probably be on IBC, but they speak about IBC a quarter a minute, and then they speak about avoidance of taxes the rest of the minute. So there is more than catches the eye.
And again, maybe to add on that, coming 6 months after election, one would beg the question, have they realized